I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Ooh, welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. Jim Rio and myself, Danny G, in the house tonight, and that was kind of an interesting first round yesterday, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought so too. So, to me, definitely, I wasn't shocked by the first 4 picks. I was shocked how they got there, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. The very first thing I thought of was like, what, the first 3 were like the same players that had been called out basically all mock drafts, right?
Yeah.
The 4th one, you're not really shocked because he like broke like all kinds of records at the combine and shit, right? Like there's always a player that does that and shoots up, and it's a quarterback, so
Right.
yeah. But Houston being crazy,
I think they gave up a lot though. There's a roster that needs talent, and they gave 4 picks to move up back to number 3. So yeah, I don't know if that was a move, but yeah, I mean, willing and dealing for sure. Crazy first round, definitely. Definitely some reaches, I think. Some not so good picks, some great picks. You know, people falling. So
yeah.
Yeah, including one quarterback who fell to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird when, you know, Reddit had him as number 1 quarterback being taken off the board. Book it. Remember we talked about it changed the sports books.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, he went all the way up. What was it? Plus 4,000 up to plus 500. I mean, he was still the underdog on this, but to shoot like that off of a Reddit post,
Yeah.
and then not to get drafted in the first round. By the way, there's a few things I love, and the internet is undefeated, right? And
Yeah, what was that?
A remix.
I think it was a remix of like some Laker replay stuff here. But what's awesome is like whenever you have that, and this is the reason why I would never show up to New York, right, for the draft. You seen him sitting in the back, right? By the way, he looks like Greg McElroy, the old quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the old
yeah.
Alabama one. But he has like, there's some funny ones, there's some good ones, there are compliments, and there's other, you know, talking shit about him and shit like that because he's sitting there this whole time. There's posts, you know, there's one where, because they're talking about his girlfriend, you know, being hot and all that shit. But then they pan around and there's like a bunch of hot women around him, and they're like, I think baby Hef will be all right here, you know?
Yeah.
Shit like that. I don't know if I'd ever want to do the green room though.
It was fucked up because it was probably from like pick 10 on. It kept going to him after every pick. They did him dirty for sure. Every time.
Yeah.
It was just like, man, and further it got, it was like, and away from the teams that didn't need quarterbacks, you're like, this dude is like going second. Desmond Ridder, you know, projected, okay, maybe first round, late second. This guy's falling big time. Like, what the heck?
Because the other one that kept getting brought up was the, what was his? I just drew a blank what I was actually gonna go, but the Levis one I feel a little bad. Oh, that's where I was going with it. Like, so there was an interview that he did, like, it had to have been before the invites came out to go to New York for the green room pick, right? And he flat out says, he's like, you know, because that's how you know it was before. He's like, if I get invited to New York, you know, I'd have to almost know that I'm going somewhere in the first round because I just don't want the camera to keep panning to me sitting in the back.
Oh, man.
Right. Well, they didn't invite Quentin Johnson or TCU wide receiver because they were afraid he might fall.
Okay, yeah. I also saw another one where like I understand why he's falling. Dude puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Oh, and that's not even there's one other thing that's weird as fuck, too.
He's eating something like in a pool or something, or like whatever. I couldn't tell what it was. I don't know if you guys know what it was.
Yeah, I seen the video. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I saw the best comment. I was like, yeah, anybody who puts mayonnaise in their coffee deserves to go undrafted.
Right. Boom. But so yeah, as I tell you, I keep rolling with that. I want to know from you guys when we were sitting there watching this, what were your biggest surprises? What did you take as like a reach? Your biggest reach, because there's always reaches, right?
Out of
like,
one,
yeah,
round one.
yeah, out of round 1, 2, and 3. I mean, to me, you start getting into the middling factor of like the draft. Like some guys may just rank people a little bit higher when it comes to that, and they just grab them like a round earlier or something like that. But what do you think about the first?
I mean, obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is going to be up there for us. I think he's more of a second rounder. Definitely able to get him there at 18. But I think he's kind of a second round guy at a position that's not valued as much anymore. And just if you look at anybody taken afterwards, it is just kind of a head scratcher. Yeah, that's a major one right there.
That sticks out to you?
Yeah, major one. I mean, at 13, Green Bay, Lucas Van Ness, maybe a little early, especially with cornerbacks on the board there. They talked about trying to get Rodgers complained of weapons out there, and there was all the wide receivers still available. Just kind of a head scratcher there.
Is that like more? Is that more like just so that he knew that he felt like he was at home?
Maybe.
Green Bay, just a nice, easy transition.
Yeah.
Because you go grab a defensive end instead of trying to get yourself build up on the offense maybe a little bit there.
Yeah.
They did all right, I think, in second round. They grabbed themselves, I think, a guard or something like that to help protect him at least. Or center. It was a center. That's what it was. But that, like I said, that's second round.
Man, Will McDonald, but I think the weirdest pick, Dalton Kincaid going to Buffalo. I don't know I think where he was drafted was high, but I also think that it was weird that that's the route that Buffalo went.
Because they traded up to jump over the Cowboys to get him.
I forgot that was part of. That's what I was thinking last night. Okay,
they
yeah.
also gave up pieces. For
Yeah, they jumped the Cowboys because they figured the Cowboys were going to take him.
Well,
yeah, and then they were talking. They thought the Cowboys were going to get that T-Rex tight end from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Kid with short arms.
Meyer?
Yeah,
He has long ass arms, don't he?
short.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah,
it was actually
everybody-
funny. They were talking so much about that. I was like, this is kind of fucked up. Like they kept bringing up the fact that he has short arms, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, everybody pretty much had penciled in Cowboys taking tight end. Ultimately, obviously, they did not. But, that's Paris Johnson coming off, at 6 there before, Skoronski. That's actually a kind of surprise to me. I thought he would be the first offensive lineman taken. So that was weird.
Arizona doing Arizona things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a haul for moving back though. The pick that we all thought would happen. What surprised me when I saw the Texans move up again to 3 was I was like, they are gonna trade back again and just try to with the Raiders or somebody just to hose the Colts, right? To hopefully not give them their pick of quarterbacks. That was my first thought when I saw the trade happen. Ultimately, they went with Will Anderson.
That would have been amazing, though.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they gave up, though. But it was a little puzzling. So what made sense is that they moved back, right? They moved back like you were predicting that, too, with the Cardinals moving back. But then they used the picks to come right back up. Not the same exact ones, but I'm like, I'm with you. That was a head scratchers that they took they started the offensive lineman to start going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe they could have waited on that.
So the Cardinals traded the 3rd overall pick and their 4th round selection for the number 12 pick, the number 33, and a 2024 first and third round selection.
Who did that? The
Arizona
Texans?
traded that. That's what the Texans gave up to Arizona to get that third pick.
Yeah, they
They
gave
got,
up.
they got a haul for that.
So I
Yeah.
was saying that it was a head scratcher in the sense that it's a roster that has a lot of needs, right?
And it's
So-
not going to be corrected on just one draft right
Yep.
now. You were going to need next
or
year's
one
stuff.
person. Why not
Yeah.
get a couple?
Use the picks.
Right.
Yeah.
Use the picks up and solid guys instead of trading up for one guy that's, because we know Will Anderson. We can, if we're game planning, we can take him out of the game plan, right? We can double block him. We can chip him. So why not just get two guys that will be really good players for you?
Hey, so
Yeah.
let's pound that one home. I'm right there with you. Why would you go and spend that much and you're not getting a quarterback because you already drafted a quarterback? Why would you spend that much to go up there and grab a defensive end? Like, who are you competing with is my point. Like,
Yeah.
you're telling me whoever you're competing with, that means you should have went to the next one down. You know what I'm saying? And the next one down would have been
The Colts.
the Colts, and the Colts are going for quarterback. You could have waited. You could have talked to Seattle then. That's my point. Like, if you were competing with whoever it was for those that you had to give up that much to Arizona to get there, and it wasn't for a quarterback, that means you're battling somebody for that pick, right? For trades. It's like, yeah, that might be a little questionable. I mean, I like aggressive nature, like you feel like you want to win or whatever, get yourself some talent, and you think, we're tired of it. We need to start doing this now. And you did get by far the best defensive end like that in this draft, in my opinion. You did get a slam dunk. Yeah. I think it might have been pretty damn extreme, but there were quite a few head scratchers for me. I have a couple that I wanted to give you that I'm gonna get both your ears perked up on one for sure.
I'll stab you if you say Bijan.
No. Actually, kudos to them. Like, because we were all wondering what the Falcons would do, right? Like, because they could go so many different ways, and then it's hey, maybe they'll take a quarterback if they're not. Are they really sold on Desmond Ridder? Blah blah blah. I wasn't thinking they'd take Bijan. That wasn't in my head.
Not after you had a 1,000-yard rusher. I think it wasn't the best move. You already had a great, running back. He seemed to find his legs once he gave him the ball. I mean, I get Bijan is Bijan, but still.
True, but this is where I have to disagree with you then, because Bijan is a different monster than what they have. You might have a 1,000-yard rusher, but Bijan's to me it'd be like the same comparison to at my team, Alexander Mattison and Dalvin Cook, right? Both can easily get over 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Alexander Mattison on any given carry can take a yard for real? Like, you're not thinking that. Dalvin Cook, you're thinking that when did he find the right crease and he's gone.
Right.
Bijan's special. He could be transcendent. He could be that, like, that's what I mean. So they have so many other needs. Don't get me wrong. I mean, maybe they didn't have to go there, but
but for Atlanta's sake, like, what does it matter if you don't have a quarterback? Like, you can have a great running back. That's
or
cool.
can't protect him.
They're just that sold on Ridder then. We may not be sold on him. Maybe they see something that we don't. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
At. They have to be sold on. There's Will Levis was still out there at that point, right?
Yeah.
There was still who else? There was somebody else still on the board.
Hooker, I think.
Hooker was still on the board, but obviously you're not taking him that. You want to take Hooker that high.
No.
Or you trade back and try to compile picks for next year, and then try to grab the quarterback next year. But mine was. Mine actually were my first one. I'm gonna give you. My very first one is going to be. I was gonna wait. I was gonna try to make it number 2. Is actually Jalen Carter. I'm gonna go the exact opposite than what you guys are thinking. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you feel like this almost feels like what the Chiefs did when they took that running back. I still tease them to this day when they grabbed the third best running back.
We said it right off the bat. That was third best running back in the draft.
Yeah, but it almost felt like they got to that point. They got that little cocky because they won the Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't really matter. We can do what we want because we still have plenty of time. It doesn't matter. Like, this is kind of like a free pick. We can do whatever. That's kind of what this feels like. And the reason why I say that is we don't know what's going to go on with this criminal stuff, right? Number 2, the most concern most concerning one, because I think the law part will work itself out, is you know what you're training for, right? Couldn't finish his workout. Could not. Came in completely out of shape for it. I think, what was he, 25, 30 pounds heavier than what he's supposed to be? Could not finish his workout, gentlemen. That would concern me. Everyone's like sitting there. I'm seeing all these posts on there. Howie Roseman has made quite arguably the best defensive line of all time, and blah, blah, blah. And they have pictures of, Big Jordan. Big Jordan, this cat right here, Hassan Reddick, and his boy, Sweat. Is it Montez? I think it's Montez Sweat.
Okay.
But I think, why would you gamble when you have a top 10 pick like that? Like, what? Like, he has too many question marks that at that point you could have 100% gotten better. What, all the corners except for Devin Witherspoon were still on there? Have they not been having corner issues for the last 6 years maybe?
Bradbury kind of turned things around, but are you going to bank on that? Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's getting, and I don't know what his age is. Feels like he's been in the league for a little bit now. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't have went that route, or if you wouldn't have gotten safety. Maybe you go get another wide receiver at this point, or protect him. There's offensive tackles still on the board.
Right.
You went and gambled on a dude. Yes, he had what looked like a number one pick potential at one point, to a guy that, I don't know. I'm just saying that one to me was actually my biggest head scratcher. I was actually completely expecting him to plummet all the way down the board, like him ending up, believe it or not, with someone like Kansas City. That would just either take that flyer or just. I think there's too many question marks, and I don't know why they would have wasted one of their first round picks on that. When they were in the Super Bowl, you could have gotten two dudes that they're slam dunks, or as close as you can get to slam dunks, not with a hell of a lot less question marks right now.
Yeah, that's what the GM's known for, building in the trenches, though. And I guess I wasn't surprised just because of that. He doesn't. There's no pressure to come in, produce right away. He can just kind of fill into the rotation, learn, maybe mature a little bit, whatever. So, I actually think it's a perfect fit. Even though I think, we'll get to that later. I think the Eagles have had a hell of a draft party this year. I think it's a perfect fit, really.
Yeah, they lost a huge piece in that exact position to the Niners, right? So they feel like they don't have to pay, but they're getting a really similar player.
Who was that?
Hargrave ended up going to the Niners, and
right.
he got
but Brandon Graham starts though.
What is? I can't remember how much he got paid. He got paid though. They didn't want to pay that, so they think they're getting a similar player for way less money.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, there were some issues with that, like his weight and everything. But dude is a freak. If they can get him straightened out, dude, this man could be the difference in winning a Super Bowl. They're that close,
true.
Right?
Right.
So, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but that's why I'm on that side. I'm like, damn it, I can't believe they got him.
Yeah. Well, I don't want him to be on the other side. Obviously, our teams are from the NFC, and his more specifically NFC East. But I think you still would have been there's pretty damn good players still left on the board that if they would have taken, you still would have said, God damn it, that sucks. They just got that much better. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You didn't have to roll the dice, But if any team could, and obviously weather it, they can. Because if he doesn't and he stays out of shape and doesn't take it serious, they have plenty of defensive linemen.
Yeah.
So it isn't like you're going to be able to tell that he's not there, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Addison was my other one. Now, not because of lack of talent, because he is a very damn good receiver. A lot of people don't realize how good he was. Like, was it his freshman and sophomore year, same year that Justin Jefferson was still in college and playing? JJ put up, I don't know, 900 yards receiving, something in that ballpark. Regardless, that same year, Jordan Addison put up 1,600 and 18 touchdowns. So, I mean, the production's there, but guys, my team didn't need that.
Right.
We did not need.
Agree.
We had to. You literally could have thrown a dart at a dartboard at any of the top 10 remaining defensive players. I don't even care which route you would have went. You need help on every level.
Yeah.
On the defense. In fact, I don't even think I'd scratch my head. I was telling Chris this today when I was telling you. I wouldn't even scratch my head if they would have went another offensive lineman, because you still have a very questionable guard position. Where like
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, I guess, but it wouldn't have surprised. I wouldn't have been shocked, or if they were to take that Anton Harrison, the offensive tackle, you would have to obviously be shuffling stuff around. But you put him at guard. I don't care what you do. Like if you would have done something like that, but the wide receiver, I'm like, all these mocks that kept mocking us a wide receiver. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? No.
Right.
We don't need that, and we have another receiver up and coming that when he's shown that he got some more plays ran his way, he looked pretty damn good. So that was my other one where I actually scratched my head, not to go wishy-washy with the other ones, but
Yeah, I texted you that last night. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that pick because I fully expected defense. I was like, well, okay, there's some good corners out there. There's some really fucking good
Yes.
corners that were still out there.
Joey Porter Jr. was out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, okay, so let's see which one we're gonna get. And then they actually started bringing up wide receiver, and I'm like, no, I don't think that makes sense, right? So I'm trying to talk myself into, okay, they're trying to open shit up for JJ more, okay, on the offensive side. But that our offense was fine last year.
Yeah.
That doesn't solve for our defense giving up as much as they did. So we'll see. I'm trying to have a little faith in Kwesi, but fucking yeah, I'm with you on that, man.
I'm getting a little skeptical of Kwesi, and we'll get to that a little bit later because we're going to talk about our teams individually.
And you know where
his later
Addison
round
played
pick.
before he went to USC, right? Played with your boy Kenny P.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, is that who that was?
Yeah, and then when Kenny got
Pitt.
drafted, he went to USC.
KP went over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nil, I think was right about that same time too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I think it
I bet.
was. No, I think
go to
it
LA.
was. If I remember that.
Mhm.
Did you say yours though?
Yeah, I did. I did have one more though. I was thinking about it. That a pick that I liked that probably didn't make a ton of sense for the team was in Jigba going to Seattle because that motherfucker is a freak. I'm super high on him, man. He was awesome. He had a little bit of an injury situation, but he's probably better than everybody besides Marvin Harrison Jr. over there. That offense in Seattle is going to be fucking awesome, man. Stud running backs, stud receivers. They're going to give up 45 points a game, but they're going to be the funnest team to watch in football. I swear to God, man.
Still Geno Smith back there.
He kept proving me wrong every week last year.
He did.
So I don't. It's still Geno Smith. Like the name is still in my head too. So
We'll
it's
see.
hard for me to say. But
We'll see if money changes him too, right? Like,
Right.
He actually got paid, so
yeah, we'll see. Hey, he's like, finally, I can let my hair down.
paid for Geno, okay?
Right,
Not
paid
paid,
for
but
Geno.
paid for Geno. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That. Did you guys want to touch on the Lions at all? Because
Yeah.
Because what I want to tell you, I want you guys to say what you are, and then I'm going to tell you I was actually, and I guarantee I was probably on the same page with you guys. And then I listened to a few gentlemen, and my opinions changed a little bit. They skewed me. Okay.
We didn't. I feel like we didn't touch on the Lions right there when we just had our little piece, but we probably should have.
Well, that's what I'm getting
It
at.
was
Like,
a
I left it.
surprise. Yeah, because they got. Didn't they end up pulling a boy from Chicago? Isn't he up with Detroit right now?
Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have him. They have DeAndre Swift. Like drafting a running back that early didn't make any fucking sense. I know he's a stud running back and everything, but
Right.
like for
And you
them,
just traded a corner to the Falcons. What's your need? Well, I mean, that right there,
And your
there,
And your defense ranked dead last.
right?
So I'm
that right
just
there
gonna-
said, okay, they're going corner.
Yeah.
Like, I was for sure. So yeah, then
So where's the logic? Like they have to be planning on trying to get something big for Swift, right? Like we're gonna get some pieces for DeAndre Swift or something because he's gone, isn't he?
I think he will be. I don't know what you really get though for a guy that's been injured a whole lot, non-premium position anymore. Kind of was shown to even lose a job even when he come back. So yeah, I don't know about big haul, but yeah, I think he'll be on the move for sure.
This is where the only thing that can sell me on this, because you guys didn't touch on their other one, and that was Jack Campbell, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that one in a second. But on the Jameer one, where I got sold, because I was with you guys too. I really am. But a couple analysts actually convinced me the other way. One of them was Louis Riddick. I like that dude a lot, Louis Riddick. And then Kirk Herbstreit too. He's like, if you guys have a problem with, if anyone has a problem with that pick, I think he was even on Pat's show. you don't probably watch college football. He's like, what you are getting it with Jahmyr Gibbs, you are getting 100% think Alvin Kamara, think, 49ers, McCaffrey. That's what you're getting. You can line him up literally anywhere and everywhere, and he could take the roof off at any moment. He has every ability you could possibly think of when it comes to running with power, running with speed, elusiveness, and get out of stuff. He's like, they got a slam dunk, hands down, one hell of a player that does not have to leave the field. You can still play with the other running backs. And I mean, they went even deeper into it, but I don't pay that close attention to college football in the sense of like I watch college football. When you start, it isn't like I master every name. I have watched Jahmyr Gibbs play, and you could tell like some players are just different, right?
Right. See, I think he would have been there at 34.
Yeah, or they could have just kept trading back too.
Yeah, or even where they picked up Jack, right? Like you'd been able to get him later no matter what.
Right.
I think he would have somewhere in the second round, and they had a third pick in the second round. I think he would have been easily there.
Could very well have been. But maybe at that point, like if you think you have that type of transcendent player like that, like we were just talking about,
if you're sold,
maybe it's not that far off of like Bijan. Because I think highly of Bijan. Maybe Jahmyr isn't that far off of that, and maybe even the same level, just on a different, like the Christian McCaffrey version versus, like Adrian Peterson. Different styles, but gonna be
big impact.
Yeah,
right?
that could not be stopped. MVP candidates, shit like that.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell, like everyone's beating this one up. And yes, it was almost like they were going like a round early on all these players. Most of these guys had like a second round or third round value or whatever, somewhere around that ballpark. I'm telling you this came from one of the analysts also, but I already knew this part from watching the Hawkeyes games this year. Hawkeyes had one of the best defenses in the nation, right? The only reason why they were above 500 was because of that defense and the special teams, right? Definitely not the offense. That was led by Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell's all over the place. A lot of people don't realize this. The dude is pretty damn quick. He's like 6'5", 6'4", somewhere in that ballpark. But he's 240 pounds, but fast as shit. He's sideline to sideline. They actually rushed him, 30% of the time right up the gut, and he would bulldoze through people. They kind of got themselves not only a sideline to sideline linebacker that can easily cover any zone coverage you want to with a middle linebacker, but you could rush him at any point because they do need some more quarterback pressure. It can't just be Aiden Hutchinson, right? You can have this guy, but he doesn't have to come off. But he doesn't have to come off the field in third down because he can cover pass coverage. In fact, he had 5 interceptions with Iowa. So I don't think that one's as. I mean, yes, where they could have got him, if we can do that, we can do that all day. That's why I said I'm going to contradict myself from earlier.
Yeah.
But you could do that all day. But if at the end of the day, when they're grading these drafts in 5 years, 10 years, whatever you want to call it, they might have nutted this. It just doesn't look sexy by value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
yeah, like I said, I like corner to be a pick for them, especially with them trading, before the draft, and so just a glaring need. And then any of the receivers there were still there as well to help that offense out.
Because I was shocked because I'm with you on because I thought for sure corner all day, right?
Yeah, that's what I was.
I'm trying to see where he went, and that's what I thought. That's the biggest surprise was the Jahmyr Gibbs to me, I guess, especially when I thought they'd go corner and for the longest time consensus number one corner was Christian Gonzalez, and he went after that pick.
After, yeah.
Yeah, he went number 17. In fact, just the pick just before the Jack Campbell pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that too, especially Christian Campbell or Christian Gonzalez falling back that far when a lot of people were putting him at that Seattle Seahawk range at first one he had, or Atlanta or something, like somewhere in that ballpark, and obviously he's down there. So yeah, that's where I was surprised. I thought they'd last in the NFL in defense.
Yeah.
Like I said, throw a dart at the dartboard, top-ranked defensive players, and take one.
I did think it was funny. You guys tell me what you think, but the Ravens taking Zay Flowers. I think Zay's a really good receiver, right? I know people compare him to Tyreek and stuff, which is a stretch, but really talented when you watch like the highlights and stuff. But I feel like for Baltimore, that's another one of those types of receivers that they always end up with, and then they go somewhere else, right? Just a speed guy who probably could do kick returns and shit like that too, but then he ends up going somewhere else. So I thought it was almost like too good of a fit, the fact that they drafted him, because I feel like it happens all the time.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was so short.
Yeah, me neither. 5'9".
Yeah.
I actually thought he was above 6 foot.
Okay.
Not even gonna lie. Like, I didn't even think he was even nowhere near that. I honestly, he looks a lot bigger when they're. Okay.
Yeah, because he gets up. He gets up after the ball, too. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at the highlights and stuff like that, he definitely does. But I don't know. It seems too on the nose for what the fuck they always do. It seems
Yeah,
like.
I mean, you just kind of got to be – if you're going to the Ravens, you know they're going to power run the ball, right? Their tight end's going to get a bunch of looks, and you may get, 3 deep shots a game. Really, if you're lucky.
I love that. You're right.
You just got to know that coming in as wide receiver that you're going to run around all day.
Like, the analysis they give for him though is this is funny. It says 5'9". I'm gonna Google search and make sure that ESPN is not wrong with this height. I'm telling you that right now.
He's short, dude.
But it says flashes the ability to win 50-50 balls. You are 5'9". So unless he's jumping out of the gym, which I don't remember that from the combine, like Tyreek. Well, we didn't know Tyreek really could because he wasn't allowed to go to the combine.
Right.
Zay Flowers, I do believe, went to the combine. You'd be able to know if he could jump out of the gym, right? To make up for 5'9". Okay, I'm just curious if we're on the. So I'm with you. They're almost all the same receiver. Yep, except for big boy Bateman, who they didn't. It's almost like they don't have enough love for.
Yeah, that was almost an accident or something.
And maybe they thought he was shorter and faster.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
I have no idea. Yeah, that. Who do you think won the first round?
Ooh.
If you want to actually combine that for all the rounds, if you've had the ability to check it, I know Rio's been working. So, speaking of which, would you like to ask him that? Are we allowed to say when you're working on the podcast?
Jeez. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we're just like, Rio isn't with us today. He's at work. Don't say that. I'm like, why?
We don't want people to know where we are.
What? We don't upload. We're not live.
Sure,
This
yeah,
kid.
like
Jesus.
This kid was on one the other night.
Yeah. But regardless, yeah. Who you thinking? Which one sticks out to you?
Man.
take a look here.
By the way, real quick, Lakers are up 68-45, gentlemen.
Let's go, boys.
This could be the end of the Grizzlies season. This could be it. Earlier, you did say you brought up the Warriors did lose to Sacramento. It's going to 7.
Yeah, that's wild.
I was talking about it earlier. I do like what Philly has done. I hate saying that because obviously playing in the division and whatnot, but
Yep.
It happens with people falling and sliding, and they just add on, to defense, to Georgia guys. Nolan Smith, man, surprising he fell back that far. I know he had that pec injury, but still another great piece to add to their defense. I don't think they had anything around 2, but then they come back and they get a guard and 3, I believe, and somebody else. I want to say they went almost back-to-back. Yeah, they went back-to-back picks, and then a safety from Illinois. So I really liked – I think they did well what they done. And even besides Jahmyr Gibbs, really, the Lions have done well with their picks, I think, too.
I was going to say the same thing, not just for the defense mode of what I was just talking about, but like if you look at their second and third rounder.
Second round, they go Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
They go Brian Branch, arguably best safety in the draft
Yeah.
there. So, I mean, they start really, I think, hammering these picks in.
And didn't and in this whole
Hendon
meantime-
Hooker, right? So Hendon Hooker in the third.
Yeah, so maybe you have a possibility of a changeover or give some time, and so they may have future at a quarterback. But while they're also doing that, weren't they also collecting picks too? Because they did a lot of trading back too. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they were gaining picks while they were doing. I think they've been having a pretty damn decent draft actually.
Yeah.
Who's I was gonna tell you.
I'm Philly, and I actually think Pittsburgh did pretty well. They normally Pittsburgh doesn't do shit on the offensive end early in the draft. They get defensive players every time.
Yep.
They got an offensive tackle there. Broderick Jones is huge in
Yeah.
the first round. But then right away in the second, picking it up with fucking Joey Porter's kid.
Yeah.
Are you
Right.
kidding me?
So you
Like,
take care of two huge needs.
yeah,
Two huge needs. I mean,
yeah, dude.
the
I'm
history's there. Yeah.
a big fan of what they're doing.
I'm digging it. I don't want to give Philly any love because it's almost not fair. You shouldn't have had two top 10 whatever the fuck picks.
Right.
Fuck the Saints again.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like I'm not saying they've done bad. I'm just trying not to give them any love. That's what I'm trying to get at here. There was another one I really enjoyed. Drew Sanders. That was Arizona with all those picks is pretty damn good. I know what they all gave up, but I don't know how you can really be that like beyond this year. If we're grading what's happening right now and what we're like seeing, we're not talking about other picks. Shouldn't we be saying the Texans? You did grab this what was for the majority of the whole offseason the second best quarterback in the draft. You grabbed the best edge rusher. There isn't one that is especially statistically better.
Maybe the best player in the draft.
Might have been
right?
even all around. I mean,
Yeah.
his stats have been there through his whole
Yeah.
career. He was the only edge rusher linebacker to ever start for Nick Saban defense as a freshman.
When's the last time somebody had a pick? Like, they had 2 and 3. When the fuck has that ever happened?
And it feels like there's usually at least a pick in between.
Right.
Yeah.
At least. And,
At least feels like it, right?
I'm just not giving the Texans love because, I mean, you suck for this long and you've had all these, you get all these picks. Yeah, you need to pick the best guys out there, and they did. They are.
I did like. Technically, that fell in my lap. I'm not going to say that either. I did like the Giants picks. And if you go over these, I'm giving them kudos because last year they finally did good, but it was really hard to fuck that up. That draft. Like, just don't step in your own way. Don't do New York shit. They were back a little bit further because they played pretty decent last year, right? And I think they actually hit their draft so far. Deonte Banks, one of the better corners in this draft, with a lot of upside from Maryland, right?
I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did, too.
Right.
Yeah.
In the middle, was it the middle? It's kind of early on, right? 26 pick. Right, 26. Yeah, no, it was late. So late second round. They had, arguably, a lot of people had as the best center in the draft. And that John Michael Schmitz from Minnesota. Right? It was
That's how late he went.
That's
Holy
how late
shit.
he went because they altered the other 1A, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the other 1A at center went before him, and the centers don't usually fly off very often. But
Right.
regardless, they got arguably the best center in this draft, at least 1A to that, 1B to that, and then they went and grabbed themselves a wide receiver. Now, whether you like the cat or not. He also was on one of the top tier offenses last year with Tennessee and Jalen Hyatt. So not too bad. They're not stepping on themselves. They're not doing dumb shit like they were used to seeing the last 15 years is what I'm getting at. This is back-to-back drafts that they haven't done bad is what I'm getting at. Not bad. So I'm not giving Philly any love. Fuck that shit.
I am curious about Tampa, though. Tampa doesn't seem to be... Like, they're definitely, definitely need a quarterback. They've got
Yeah,
Baker.
they're definitely
right?
tanking for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, so like the moves that they're making, I'm kind of like, I don't. Are you just gonna get rid of everybody and rebuild shit, or what
Yep,
are you gonna
Ca-
do?
Go after Caleb Williams next year, and then
Yeah. Okay, that does sound like
I like
a
the
plan.
defensive tackle they got. A little mini,
And they could use that
little
too.
mini Aaron
Yeah.
Donald.
I don't know.
Obviously, I don't know.
Tom Brady
They-
just made up
they-
for so much,
they-
you know.
right?
So they need
like
more
you don't
than
know
I
what
guess we think.
we don't know what they actually need because
Yeah.
he filled in those gaps, right?
You're right.
Like,
yeah.
like I think they're questioning themselves, like, what are we supposed to do now? You know, like
About to find
we
out.
were building something, and then he came in and he's like, I want to be a part of Tampa Bay, and then we had one of the best quarterbacks of all time to play for us, so we ignored where we were at one point.
Right.
You know, another one I was interested in was I'm gonna give you my head scratcher, my team that is like, or loser if you want to call it like that, right? And I got two, but my first one is actually, what the fuck's San Francisco doing?
No.
Now, granted, that being said, they didn't have, and I can't remember the reason why they didn't have a first rounder
place
Or-
kicker in
or
the
a second
third,
or a second rounder. Yeah,
and a tight end from Alabama.
right. Tight
That-
end from Alabama, a
I would-
place kicker.
I would just guess it had to do with McCaffrey.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably somewhere up in there, and then the safety from Penn State. I bet you if I go ahead and go through here, and I will. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go by look at the picks there in the third round and who was available when they first started going there. Now, obviously they get paid to go scout and shit like that, but people way further. I don't know. This I would have taken in Cincinnati. Cincinnati got him, but looks like after their first pick in that round was safety from Penn State. That was their first third round pick. The safety Jordan Battle from Alabama was still on the board.
Yeah.
Where's the other ones? Obviously a kicker. It doesn't matter. Literally take anything but a fucking kicker.
Here's the problem with criticizing San Francisco. I can't say anything bad until they actually do something wrong. Everything they've built so far right now is fucking money. So
Well,
maybe it doesn't make sense today.
what's money about it? What have they won?
All of their pieces
Look like
great.
it. They look like it on paper, but what have they done with it? That's what I'm getting at. What have they done? Now we're getting into the Kyle Shanahan's God, and he hasn't. But what has he really done? They went to the Super Bowl. Okay, kudos. So did the weird Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean? Like, at what point is like, where are you really going? Like, where are we at?
Yeah, I guess where's their need? Like, where is their actual need? You know what I mean?
I would say wide receivers. They still can take any part of defensive. You know, defense. I mean, I don't know if you need a running back. Obviously, at that point, I mean,
Running back would never hurt for them.
It wouldn't hurt, but and then especially with old boy always getting banged up. I probably would have went wide receivers definitely in some version. So surround like who'd. I don't know. You don't even know if you're gonna be able to keep who's the second one. I know they re-signed Debo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the second one that actually shown out a little bit last year? He's always been hit and miss.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
'cause
they
he
don't.
gets injured too.
Yeah.
But they don't have a clear cut. Maybe you go grab yourself a better tight end than Cameron Latou. Maybe take those 3 third rounders and move into late second and grab somebody because I love George Kittle. George Kittle to me is either the first or second best tight end in the game on any given Sunday, but he can't stay healthy.
Right.
It feels like he misses like half the season.
Ayuk is who
anymore.
you're thinking of. God damn it, I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, Ayuk.
Yep,
Yeah, that
yep.
bugs me because I like Ayuk, but he's very, very flaky. It's like, especially when you want to use him on fantasy, you
Right,
want to
he'll
get
blow up,
19 and then he'll
then-
get like 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Blow up. Nothing, yeah.
Right? I mean, you could definitely go defense at any point on there. It's like, I don't know. A kicker's like almost like someone fell asleep at the wheel. First off, in the third round.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not looking at it. I'm not super interested in Washington, but I feel like they definitely need a quarterback too. And they did not end up with a quarterback, right? I know they had some needs on defense, and they did that, but I'm curious if they're planning on trying to pick somebody up or what, because I have no idea who's going to start a quarterback for Washington, right?
It's
It's good for you. You
Yeah.
have a bottom dweller for sure,
Mhm.
but
I like their first round
Best
pick.
division in football.
I do like their first round pick. But I'm surprised. I was surprised Will Levis passed that spot right there.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's probably that was one of the most surprising after it got to a certain point. Like after that, anything can happen down there. A lot of people have quarterbacks or they're strapped for cash or whatever the scenario. Fake quarterbacks. They think they have their quarterback.
yeah.
But right there, when that passed and it was him, even though they got one hell of a player, I like that Forbes from Mississippi State, right? I was shocked. I was definitely shocked. They're going to roll with who is on their roster? Who did they sign? They
still have the backup who will be there. But who was that young cat that actually balled out for a couple games for Washington?
have Sam Howell. So
Yeah.
that's telling me that they're
Oh.
going to give him a role at this,
I
a
guess.
legit role for the season.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, they're going to have to at this point because you literally passed up on it, right?
Stetson Bennett's out there, baby.
Stetson Bennett is still
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
He just wins. That one surprised me. And then I got to beat up on my team. I beat up on him on the receiver, so I'll leave that apart. I'll leave that alone. Did not have a second round pick. That's also where I'm not so. I may be losing a little bit of trust in Kwesi. We keep trading picks away. We have a bunch of picks. Like I was like, oh, we'll be straightened back up next year. I look them up and no, we have a bunch tied to either T.J. Hawkinson or Nick Mullins is we traded a 7th rounder and a conditional, and it's going to be a 7th. I can't remember what the fuck it is. But we just keep trading away draft picks. I'm like, well, you're not bringing anyone in free agency either. So where are we going here? Yeah, I'll tell you where we're going. We drafted in the 3rd round. At the end of the 3rd, we kept trading back, and we didn't get that much in return from trading back either, by the way. We have a 4th, 2 5ths, a 6th, and a 7th this year. That's what we have left. We took Mekhi Blackman, cornerback from USC. He is, like I was telling these fine gentlemen, he's a 223rd overall player. At the what is the end of the 3rd round, which is that 90th, 100th player. So he's the position ranked 30th corner.
Were there any still available that were above him, Jim?
Absolutely. Hey, I'm
Okay.
glad you asked, Danny.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm glad you asked. Let's go ahead and click on corners available still right now, okay?
One surprising. Keely Ringo. Still there going in the 4th. That
What?
is really
He-
surprising.
Okay, that's who I'm
I
talking
didn't know
about.
he was still out.
That's who I'm
Okay.
talking about. Keely Ringo, when I was talking to you off air. 6'2", the corner from Georgia.
Think he'll move him to safety somewhere in the NFL, but he can play corner.
Yeah, he's
obviously.
a
He's
stud. I didn't
a
know.
physical
Holy shit.
mammoth. 6'2". His position rank is 8. Overall rank 50.
Seems like a steal, right? Like at
Right.
that spot.
You have a Utah corner here at Clark Phillips, Darius Rush from South Carolina, Terrell Smith, actually one hell of one that you could take from Minnesota, who's 6'1", has kind of the physical features you'd want. Also, position rank 14, 96 overall, right? How many players is that? That's 4 corners. Let's go ahead and take you down to what number this guy would have been in. What did I say? 223. Oh no, still got to go lower. Nope, got to go lower.
Man.
Hold on. It's getting better. Yep, I finally found it. So he would have been the number available left in cornerback. He would have been the number 19th ranked cornerback if he was still on the board right now. Don't know what we're doing. Don't know what they saw in this. And that's where I told you I was going to contradict myself from earlier, okay? About ranking versus whatever. But you're telling me that he was that high. You believe he was that high on everyone else's board that you felt like you had to take him in the 3rd round when there was all those left and you had a proven national championship winner on the
Right.
still available, even if don't know if he would have been able to play corner now. I mean, you said he's probably going to be moved to safety. Most
That's what
likely
they're
will.
thinking, yeah.
That's what they're thinking. I still roll the dice on that.
Either way,
versus,
versatility.
Yeah.
or versatility, exactly. Oh, you remember when I said you could take a dart? Anybody on defense, because we need it at every layer? Some version of something?
Yeah.
You're right.
Take the best corner available. Then if you're gonna do that, just highly frustrated. I don't know. He kind of worried me. I have Vikings on Snapchat. I don't know if you have Cowboys version or anything like that, but he interviewed Kwesi and like he's like answering questions and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, what were you taken aback by last year? You know, your first time being GM." He's like, just you didn't realize how quick this really goes, and like like what's all. I'm like, fuck.
Not a good sign.
And no.
Losing track of time.
That actually tells me that those other trades. Remember when we were trading with Detroit last year?
Yeah.
Right. I think we got some good pieces. Okay. I love Lewisine. You seen what's coming back from that, right? And I still have hope for Andrew Booth Jr. Right. But it tells me you were panicking. You were the Jacksonville Jaguars in the movie The Draft. Or where was that? Draft Day. Draft Day. You are the Jaguars. You're panicking. You had a young GM. He didn't know what's going on. Oh, my God. That's exactly what that reminded me of now. And it's not – I'm a little scared, Danny. I love our coach. Don't know if I'm sold on our GM now.
Well, we're about to find out.
Correct me or please enlighten me. Please give me some shed of light, either one of you, to say that I'm not overthinking any of this shit. Please.
You're not overthinking it. We don't know. We don't know how good he is at his job yet, man. So,
well, I mean the picks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm talking about. So, we don't know what they saw to make them think that he was worth that draft pick. Old boy from USC, right? They did well last year in the draft, and we just got to hope the same kind of thing goes forward. I'm still in the back of my mind. I'm just trying to be positive about Addison that early, for us anyway.
Yeah.
But we just got to have faith. Last year was good. Let's see how this year turns out, I guess,
The Lakers are up by 32. 89-57.
Yeah, dude. You saw how bad LeBron's game was last game. That this wasn't going to happen again.
No. This is getting ugly in a hurry. Do you have any words of wisdom for me, Rio? Anything to calm me down a little bit so I don't.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Really?
Do you see? No, I'm just asking. Do you see anything or do you see anything opposite what I'm thinking?
The Vikings?
Yeah.
No, I was really surprised they didn't jump all over the corner situation. They kind of had some bad luck there. Older guys have to come through and play. So, yeah, for them not to go jump all over that. And Jordan Addison, the offense is going to be great, but defense is going to be so bad. Your guys that what used to be a great defense have now gotten older or left. And so – and you're not replacing them at all. So
yep.
You can have a good offense all you want, but you can't stop anybody. So I was really surprised, to not go defense, especially the people sitting there.
And mind you, Daniil Hunter wants to get paid. He's not showing up to so far the OTAs, that shit like that, the voluntary stuff, which you don't have to, but
still a good look.
Yeah,
we don't have like a bunch of money to be thrown around, like. And you actually extend him because he's been banged up too. So the one better, younger defensive piece that you do have.
And I was actually thinking maybe offensive tackle. It's clear the plan is to move on from Kirk Cousins, so you're going to have to protect probably a young quarterback or some, of that nature here shortly. So even that could have been in play.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have been shocked by
I wouldn't have been
offensive
shocked
lineman
by
at least,
yeah.
Right?
So it was either defense for me, and there were plenty of options, or even when I was looking, I was like, oh, they could go like an offensive line because clearly the statement is that Kirk is gone after this year, right? Or a trade of some sort is going to happen, and either way they're moving on, it sounds like. So
I wonder if they were banking a little much on – because there's been nothing – I know you guys saw the same ones, right? There's been nothing but reports about Dalvin getting traded, and that would literally involve draft picks usually. That's what you'd trade him for at this point is draft picks, not player for player, right? I wonder if they're banking on getting some version of some draft capital and then maybe move it, and it just never came to fruition.
Dude,
he's still there.
He's hurt too much.
He is.
That's the problem. If he wasn't, fuck yeah, teams would be jumping on that. But I feel like the injury thing is such a big deal.
Well, someone was telling me, I think it was one of our buddies at work. He's like, he's not worth the second rounder. I'm like, he is worth the second rounder all day. his health isn't worth a second round.
Yeah.
Like when he's on the field, he is the top 3, 4 at absolute most running backs in the league. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is the top 3 running back in the league as long as he's on the field.
Right.
Be it staying on the field is a problem. But
Yeah.
give us yours. What about them
You'll-
about them boys?
Cowboys. They, there were lots of good picks, players still available, and they couldn't pick obviously Joey Porter, but they went big time need here, and really everybody had them picking tight end, and just the way they let Dalton Schultz go, it seemed like they felt comfortable with who they had, so I was like, I don't know if they'd go that route. It'd be interesting to see, how it plays out. And if Buffalo hadn't jumped, I wonder if they would have taken Kincaid. And I wonder if they were thinking that Mayer would have gone first. But they went big time need here, a true one technique nose tackle. Cowboys got gashed. We're giving up 180 yards, 160 yards. There at the end of the season, and it was not good. So Dan Quinn's just getting richer in this draft. We move along second round. It's an okay pick, tight end. Like I said, it almost seemed like they're going to take a tight end at some point. Yeah. So a tight end come in, he can play. Like I said, I thought we were fine at tight ends.
I think this is the cat.
I'll
let you finish your thing. I do have something to say about your boys, especially about this tight end actually. But go ahead. My bad. I thought this was the guy.
So let's see. So I guess that was kind of I was almost expecting a wide receiver here at 2 because Michael Gallup didn't return to himself. Get yourself another weapon to make that offense loaded. There was anything to help Dak, and the tight end we have is not really a reception tight end. Is more put him on the line and block. Can he do both? Yes, but he's not as like that Georgia tight end that's freakish athletic. Yeah. But then our third round pick, I love it. He's a Texas guy, but just another guy for Dan Quinn. He started at safety, moved to kind of a hybrid linebacker piece, and I think it's just another guy that Dan Quinn's just going to be able to plug and play.
Good versatility.
Yeah, great versatility, especially in the defense that he plays and how he uses them. I think it's kind of the perfect fit for him. I know that D tackle wasn't the sexiest pick there, but if you look at the numbers and how much we're getting gashed right up the middle, I mean, it is 100% need pick.
I agree 100%. Your rush defense seemed to get better towards the end of the year for whatever reason. Numbers wise, I'm just talking about numbers. And that could have been just teams not running either. So I'm not going to dive that much into it, but it isn't like they didn't take something I need. I don't want to beat up, and I don't think I will beat up on any part of what you guys did because for whatever reason, your guys' shit just kind of works. They do their research. They stick with their guys. They stick with their draft board for the most part, and then they move on to the next guy if someone got taken off their draft board. You know what I mean? Cause, you guys grabbed all pros when you were that Wisconsin one still sticks with me to this day. You guys drafted him a couple rounds early. He had a third round draft grade. I'm talking about the one when you guys took in the first round. It might have been guard or center. I can't remember which one. But I just remember he had a third round draft grade. I think it might have been your center.
It was Travis Frederick, and I think he was the first pick of the second round.
Okay. So I'm not going to beat up on anything that they did. I actually wanted to give you a little bit of hope. So the tight end that you did get was banged up last year. And his upside is, the way I understood it, like I was watching, they had him up and I was watching highlights. I was watching on NFL Network actually, and it's they were breaking it down like his ability. He has like everything. He's like actually a super athlete. Like I think he did some downhill skiing and all kinds of shit like that. what I'm getting at is that he got banged up. He does everything though. He blocks and he's pretty goddamn fast. He's athletic. He does everything. Nobody's talking about him because he was injured. You know what I mean? There's a reason why he wasn't up as high for most people on the board. Because nobody saw it. It's a very deep tight end class, so he kind of got lost in the mix. Is what I'm getting at. So he might have got a steal.
Yeah, he's a big boy too. Seems like he got sure hands, like possession type tight end, like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what were you thinking about theirs, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that cat out of Texas very well. It seems like you need that type of a piece, though. So I agree with that. I like the tight end pick. It seems like he went a little bit early, maybe, but maybe they were worried somebody was going to jack him too, along with the other tight end they wanted to get. But no, I think they were all right. Defense. Hopefully, is getting better. Seems like Dan Quinn's getting his way with everything. But yeah, man.
I was gonna look at the rounds. They're the only if I had to make a more, because I didn't make a gripe about them. If I had to make a gripe about theirs, it would be the defensive tackle that they took versus what was available, if I do remember right. So you guys were, you went there. You're 27. That's what I thought. So I'm big on, doesn't matter. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just telling you what I'm big on. I have been big on that Breesy from Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
The upside. So that one taken. So if there's anything I need to put a negative at, and I'm not saying it really necessarily is, it'd probably be that. Like I would have taken Brian Breesy versus that for Clemson.
Yeah.
Big body, big boy. Because he's a mammoth of a man. Now he had, I do believe, a little bit of a down year. I don't know if it was this last year or if it was the year before. So he kind of has like a track, like his track record looks like you don't know.
Yeah.
But I would have went with that. I would have went with Brian Breesy if I had to make myself one little chip at what they did. That's where I'm at with that one. But yeah, I had something I have to ask you, gentlemen. It's been bugging me. It's been eating away at me.
No, not comfortable enough yet to drink Bud Light.
Not yet.
In public.
In public. Don't you dare. Dude, I saw. Oh my God. Before I get to my question for you, gentlemen, that reminds me of a video I just watched. You know, they keep putting all these up, or it's starting to slow down a little bit with the Bud Light and the TikToks and shit. Because most of them were like, they go pick it up in the cooler, and then their voice would change or something. And they drop it.
Yeah.
Saw one even better. So dude walks up and he's like debating. He's like, so many choices, you know, and panning over, and he sees this guy pick up Bud Light, and he starts to walk away, and that dude kind of notices that he's looking at him. He's like, you're still sticking with the Bud Light, huh? He's like, yeah, I've always drank Bud Light. I'm not gonna let some political stuff or whatever change that, you know. Drink it then, drink it now, and I'm still the same person. That dude kind of starts walking away, and the guy with the camera's like, yeah, okay. He goes to pick up himself Bud Light, turns, and the dude that was walking away was bending over. He had big old red thongs sticking out of the fucking back. I'm like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
So he goes and sets his back. He's like, nope, I'm good. Immature shit. I know. I am. Yeah, I laugh my ass off, though. My good God. I have one for you, though. This one bugs me. Have you ever been cock-blocked by yourself?
I feel like this is a trick question. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Nothing physically with you. Like, no, you don't have any issues. I'm just saying, have you ever been cock-blocked? More specifically, have you been more cock-blocked by your dream self?
Wait, what?
I'm going to need you to elaborate.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready? This has happened a couple times. It's hard to talk about.
This is more than once. All right.
I don't think it's hard.
No, my wife will tell me. Like, especially when I go to work when I'm on first or something, and she has like the day off. My morning text from her around 8, 9 o'clock, whatever. It'll be morning, babe, whatever. And a lot of times it's normal, everyday family stuff. Like, hey, kids did good this morning. They didn't. They were shitholes. Whatever, whatever shitbags.
Yeah.
Either which way. every so often, and it's more recently. And sometimes, sometimes even when I'm home, this is where it pisses me off. She'll be like, I had a really hot dream about you last night. And it's like a sweating emoji or whatever she wants it, like, you know what I'm saying? All that. Or she'll even say, I had a really dirty dream about you. This whole works. You know where I'm going now. I literally have walked in, like, or I was already home, woke up, and we woke up at the same time. She's like, I had a really nasty dream. I'm like, well, let's fucking fulfill this, bitch. No, I'm good. I got cock blocked by myself. She got off in her dream by me.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm about to kill me in her dream. This is horse shit. This has happened probably 3 times, at least, minimum. I just want to know if you have had that happen, or do you know if it's happened? Maybe it has happened. Maybe you have gotten shut down. Maybe you didn't realize that you already gotten taken care of.
Not cock blocked, but I did run into an interesting one the other day that your significant other, she ever get mad at you for something that you did in a dream?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was some bullshit.
Yeah.
She's like, I was pissed at you. Like, she was being, I'm like, what the hell did I do? She's like, yeah, just weird dream. Just, I was so mad at you. And I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, we were having a threesome, and you went to do the other girl, but you said you weren't going to stick it in. You were just going to rub it between her legs, and you put it in anyways. And I go, what the hell?
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, hate me.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Let's beat that piece of shit's ass.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Bring her over. I'll prove you wrong. Let's figure this out right now.
Get her right behind the kneecaps.
But you see what I'm talking? That's almost the same thing. I've had that version too, where I'm getting in trouble for my dream me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
Sam's
the fuck did I
definitely
do?
woke up like looking at me sideways. I'm like, what the fuck? We just woke up. What could have happened? And she's like, I had a dream. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Yeah, I've definitely had
Every
that.
man, every married man has heard that, right? Like they've had to have.
Right.
Their dream self got them in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before, like the day starting off shitty, like right out of the gate. All right, see, this is gonna be a great fucking day.
Right.
I woke up just fine. Not going that way because I already got in trouble, 6 hours before
Yeah.
Right.
while I was sleeping.
Right.
Yeah.
That's horseshit. But I didn't know if you guys have had that happen. Do me a favor. Ask your wives. Ask your wives if they've ever shut you down one time because they didn't give you the reason at the time. They just said, nah, I'm good, whatever. I don't know how you guys get shut down in yours, but I'm just going to say, just ask them if at any point, if they did, when they did shut you down, if it's maybe because you maybe already took care of business in their dream anyways.
In the dream, right? We'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my wife just flat out told me, I'm like, this is horseshit.
How was it? Was it good? Was I good? Did I perform well? Was I...
Obviously, or if I did it, because then she'd be mad the other way. Like that's where your part would come in. I'm mad at you. What?
Fuck me behind the kneecaps.
You know what you did. 2.3 minutes is not enough. What?
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's been on my mind a little bit. So I had to bring that one up to you guys.
All right. Way to get that off your chest.
And I feel a little bit better. I do have, unless you guys have.
No,
some
you
more.
definitely do. I need to hear something.
I have some make sense if you don't think about it. And I have a laundry list of them because my man Ruby has been my trainee all week, right?
Interesting fellow.
He is, right? The ammunition this man gives me, right? I got to tell you his current dilemma. This eats away at him every single day. Okay? His sister's friend comes over quite often and is heavily attracted to him for whatever reason. I don't know what.
What are you trying to say?
His hair. I don't know. He just kind of. I've told him to. I'm like, yeah, you need to cut your hair, dude. Go back to looking like a grown man. He kind of gets this hippie thing going with his hair. Regardless. Girl comes over, hangs out. Well, his sister lives with him, so she pays part of the bills or whatever. And I assume she works like a night shiftish type of time, so she like sleeps weird times or whatever. Gets left alone quite often with the friend. Now, they like each other at least physically a lot, right?
Okay.
He's been battling it off, but he still like makes sure he wears sweatpants when she comes over.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he told me this. This is coming out of his mouth. I wear sweatpants to make sure that.
Is he 16 or what?
Yeah, hold on. You won't even have to ask after I tell you this. You won't even have to ask that. So he's like, well, you know, I just can't stop. I just want to do it, bro. You know, it's so tight. Then why don't you do it? You're a single dude. Is she single? Is there a problem here? Well, it's my sister. It's my sister's best friend. She'll be pissed. I don't want to do that to her. I'm like, okay, I can respect that. You know, maybe that's a scenario, but why don't you just hold on? I said I could respect that.
You're lying.
I didn't say
you are lying.
Hold on.
Yeah, you banged your mom, so
Get the fuck out of here, you Luke, you piece of shit.
I heard that somewhere. I don't know.
Not true. Not true.
so don't even come at us.
No, but my point is, I can respect his thought process. How about that? Is that better? I can respect his thought process.
I can't. Sister, your friend's getting pregnant.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Listen, your sister's got to support you here,
Right.
okay?
You guys are missing what
She
I'm
should be
getting.
hooking it up.
All right, keep going.
You guys are missing what I'm getting.
It's so tight, got it.
Yeah, so tight.
Sweatpants, we're back in.
So he's sitting there battling. I can't do. I'm like, well, I did kind of say like, fuck that. I'm like, just go talk to her. Go talk to your sister. But here's the deal. Well, he tells me days later that, well, my sister already knows because my sister makes fun of her all the time. Like, this dude, really? Knowing that her friend is attracted to her brother.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, then slay that shit. What are we waiting on? You know? Nah, man, you know, I just
time to dip.
our energies aren't the same.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
You know, I'm like,
One
are
of
you
those.
fucking shitting me right now? You like lose your energy. That's where you lose it. Explodes out of you. Boom, bang.
Right.
If you want to be honest because you're all righteous and shit, just be honest with the chick. Hey, I just want to fuck. No relationship, no nothing. Be point blank about it and like, this is what I want. If that's what you want to, let's do this.
Right.
It gets better. So at least 3, 4, 5 times now, they have been heavily making out.
Okay, for how old is this kid?
He's 23.
Okay. No, keep going.
She is been dry humping the shit out of him. When was the last time you dry humped? Please tell me.
God, 14, 16, somewhere down there, man. It's been a long time.
My pillow last night.
But that's back in our time
That's
where
crazy, man.
where like the first person to get a blowjob was like 8th grade, and it was only one couple that you
Yep,
know
out of the
it
whole
never
school.
happened. Now it happens like that's like fucking like 6th grade, and like that's like initiation or 5th grade. I have no fucking idea. You hear about all this shit starting so much sooner. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Before
This is
your
stupid.
first kiss.
Yeah,
though.
now boys are doing boys and girls are doing girls. It's crazy.
and
Times are wild.
and kids are shitting in litter boxes.
Don't assume.
Oh, it's
Don't
are doing
assume-
it.
Yeah,
they-
It's are blowing
they, them.
it's. They
They,
are
them.
they are blowing them.
Right. He's telling me this, and I'm like, let me get this straight. And you're saying grinding on you, like her, yeah, she's grinding her pussy. I'm like, first off, you have clothes in between you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well,
are
you wore sweatpants.
Right. What the fuck are you holding back at this point? It's guys basically fucked, except for like the middle school version.
Right.
Right. I mean,
Like,
she
are
might
you-
have finished a couple times, but
Right. Like, what are you doing? Are you fucking shitting me right now? Yeah, I know what I'm doing is wrong. And I'm like, that is not what I'm saying. The only
Oh
thing
my
you're doing
God.
wrong, the only thing you're doing wrong is that there's pieces of clothing in between.
yeah.
You're consenting fucking
Is it the
adults.
first time?
Right. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, this gets better. I'm telling you. He keeps going.
What?
I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? 'Cause I want to know a legit answer. I'm like, either shit or get off the pot anyway. Like, what the fuck are you fucking with this girl anyway, thinking that she can't get it, she can get it, whatever. She's grinding her shit on your dick, but then you're not giving it. Just stop then. Like, you're being an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get my body count up, bro.
What?
Do guys, let me give you this question. Do guys worry about how many you have in the bank?
No.
Absolutely not.
Doesn't even cross your mind, right?
No.
If you're a pretentious fuck or something like that, you might actually brag about your number. But usually we don't even think about our number. You actually have to maybe even jaw through your memory. Like, oh, fuck, I have no idea.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I already have 3. I don't want to go to 4 already. And, you know, and I don't see her as relationship material. What the fuck are you saying right now?
That's crazy.
You were 23 years old. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to condone everybody go fuck each other and go do this and go. I'm like, dude, you were a single dude. You obviously want to do it. She's consensual. Rat protection, whatever you want to do. But you're going to come at me because you don't want to get your body count up? Like, wait, what? I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm like, what do you. I was lost for words. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, and it bothers him at work too. Like while he's like sitting there working, he's like, yeah. I should like the one day he was late. He was 45 minutes late or whatever.
He's dry humping?
No, he's probably tired from the night before of dry humping. He's out here becoming the fucking dry humping assassin.
Couldn't peel these stiff sweatpants off. Took a while.
He's just fucking humping everything. I'm like, you're just out there just fucking air humping everything. That's what you are. You're the air humping.
He's like the dog just.
Yeah, just side of the couch.
You ever catch a dog just
fucking a pillow
right?
or something?
And then you're like, hey, stop that shit. And they get a couple more in the air as they walk, trying to walk away. Like, oh.
Let me finish this. Okay.
He's like, I just got to fucking. He's like, I'm mad at myself, bro. I'm like, why? I should have just stayed home today. I just didn't want to burn out my. She stayed the night.
Let's go.
No, not stayed the night like they fucked. No. She stayed with her sister. Stayed the night because they maybe had too many drinks or whatever. But maybe he meant like she was over there real early in the morning. I can't remember or something like that. But she just stayed home. Like, well, duh.
Yeah.
You're already late anyway. Like, get a hold of somebody to see if they can cover your hours and take care of business. Yeah, but I shouldn't do it. I'm like, then why do you keep bringing it up? For the love of God. He's like, I should have just missed work and just. This is all day, every day, like little chunks of it. I mean, I have way more for you. I promise you that for the next probably 3 episodes. But all of this being said, it makes sense if you don't think about it.
Damn, it definitely makes sense if you don't think about it.
Body counts.
Holy
and
shit, dude. I got blue balls from that story. Holy shit.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Right. And then he'll have his sexual fantasy out loud with me too, like about her. Like, man, she's so petite and small. I want to pick her up and fuck her. I could just do this, you know. And I'm like, first off, homeboy, I've been watching you toss 50-pound bags up there and struggling. I know she weighs more than 50 pounds.
First off, yeah.
Yeah. But he's like, no. You have to understand she's real small. Yeah, I get you. But whatever. You're literally you're creaming your pants over here. It's almost starting to get a little like, yeah, maybe I need to back up and go get you a rain suit.
Right.
But that's his dilemma.
Yeah,
he's going in his head.
rain suit.
I'm like, just fucking, just do it.
Dude, okay.
You're 23.
Hold on. You guys need a compod, okay? Have you seen this?
Excuse me?
Have you seen this? So there's these videos that I started coming across on TikTok where after COVID, like the fact everybody worked from home and stuff like that. So basically they're saying like dudes got used to jerking off like 3 times a day. So now that we're coming back to work, we got to accommodate for that.
Oh,
and so
okay.
So these places.
Shut up.
I'm down with it. Let's go.
This is so good. They installed compods at work, and so I can hardly keep going. So they install these. It's almost like a fucking like a room where you breastfeed or something, right? But it's for dudes, so you can go in there and fucking bust a nut in what they call a cum pod.
What is that? A fucking hole in the barrel?
It's amazing because in these videos it would be like a girl goes into one of those because she's on a call and it's really loud in the place, right? So she's trying to be on the call and be respectful. And this guy falls down because he was trying to go use the cum pod and he couldn't, so he fucking passes out. Oh my god. God, man.
What the hell?
It's amazing.
First off, what the hell are you watching?
It is.
That's
But
insane.
hey, you guys need one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ruben definitely needs one.
He can go do that in his vehicle. Mind you,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
need to
I don't
write
wanna
that
watch
down
that.
too. 'Cause, dude, I'm telling you, he gave me so much ammunition because he makes a lot of sense. He does.
Seems like one night we just need to get him on. And
I
Let him
told him,
talk.
I was like, you need to do a conspiracy one with him, and then because he'll go a little off the deep end on some of it, but he actually has a very open mind. Like you can actually reel him back in. You can actually like talk to him. It isn't like he's set in his thought process, except for this energy one.
seems like he he wants a relationship with her, so he doesn't want to ruin it.
No,
and
no,
do
he
it.
doesn't want to.
No, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's what we'd think, but he
Yeah.
doesn't. He's way about energies, and our energies don't match up like that, and I just don't feel it. But physically, and then he tells me he also told me he has a monster cock. Exact word for word. I'm like,
What?
I'm like, what are you trying?
First off, show
do
me.
I need to do I need to get more distance? Do I need to get more distance between me and you?
Yeah.
Did I already tell the story? I'm not gonna do it now, but I just want to know. Did I tell you the story about the HR one with him? And he said that he was in a. Remember, old boy got fired.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Bulldog for the grabby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then what he said he was gonna go around the plant and say he was gonna do.
I don't think so.
Okay, that one needs to get brought up for sure. So then it'll tie it back into this
Perfect.
one. Yeah.
Same guy.
I'm talking.
Okay.
Oh, plenty of them. I'm telling you. But,
So you guys are in there. Do you measure cocks in there? What do you got going on?
I always
that-
do.
in that
Yeah.
room?
First thing,
I get
that's-
that. Yeah.
Yeah. First day, I'm like, hey man, what's up? How you doing? My name's Rio.
How
Yeah,
big's your dick?
How big's your dick?
yeah. What the hell were we? I thought we were joining that league.
I thought that was part of the interview process. I didn't know for sure.
What's that league that we were doing?
The gay chicken.
The gay chicken.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Tell
Wait,
Rio.
what is
Tell
it?
Rio.
Have
Tell
you,
Rio.
you've never
gay
seen it? So Theo Vaughn talks about it.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So it's a game he used to play when he was a kid.
Oh, I have seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you grab each other's wieners, and the first one to get hard loses.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was a TikTok thing. I followed.
Yeah. It was one of those. That shit was so fucked up. He's like, they're like, what kind of, when is that sport played? Like, he's like, it's more of like a fall sport. That shit
guy.
was wild.
By the way, it looks like it is all but official. They have all backups in. It's 115 to 79, gentlemen. The Lakers
Holy
are
shit.
going to the next round. Your number 2 seeded Memphis Grizzlies have gotten bounced.
Talk about, oh my God.
And LeBron James only had to play like 31 minutes. Anthony Davis only had played 28. That's just, they were doing their jobs. Anthony Davis had himself a decent game, 14 boards, only 16 points, but he only played 28. Like I said, 28 minutes. He only took 9 shots. So
This is why people talk shit about Memphis. They talk,
Right.
but they cannot win.
D'Angelo Russell was on fire. That's why. I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, where the fuck did all the points come from? Because LeBron only had 22. He shot good and everything. But D'Angelo Russell had himself a game, gentlemen. 5 of 9 from 3, 12 of 17, 31 points.
Let's go, buddy.
So that's basically what the difference was. And it looks like he got really on fire in the third. They outscored him 41 to 25
Holy
in the
shit.
third. So
Right on. Well, we are well over our goal for time, but it's too good to talk about the NFL draft, man. We just think we're only, 5-6 months away from real NFL football.
yeah.
That sucks. That's depressing again, actually, now that I bring it up. But anyway, we went over the time, so we're going to go ahead and start to wrap her up, ladies and gentlemen. So you beautiful people out there, if you happen to find us on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate it. But Jimmer, where's the podcast available?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
YouTube. Let's go. And don't you dare forget about YouTube. Did you hear that bass and that voice over
I
there?
did.
Was that Brittany Griner? All right, anyway. Goddamn. If you heard the recent interview, you'd know what I'm talking about. That shit was fucked up. That sounded fake. It was so deep. But we do love to tell a good story. So if you've got one you want us to share, go ahead and slide on in.
To our DMs, get us that story. We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We can omit names, anything like that, but we want to get it out to all the folks who want to have a good laugh.
Is that Brittany Griner? What the fuck?
Let's do it. I know you cut audio, Jimmer, so go ahead and do that. Anyway.
Oh no. We're hanging and banging, bro.
It's an oversized clip,
Yeah,
baby.
We're hanging brain.
oversized clip.
We're hanging brain.
Hanging brain tonight, baby.
Dude, just hanging brain. What's the big deal?
Yeah, what's the fuck is the problem? I don't understand. All right. Well, it's been fun, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right.